As the world plunged into financial chaos in 2008, banks collapsed, markets crashed, and public trust in traditional systems crumbled. While people protested in the streets and watched their savings vanish, an anonymous message quietly landed in a cryptography mailing list. Bitcoin P2P cash paper. Attached was a 9-page white paper, simple in design, but revolutionary in content, proposing a peer-to-peer digital cash system that needed no banks, no middlemen, and most importantly, no trust. Its author? A name nobody recognized, Satoshi Nakamoto. That moment marked the digital spark that would ignite a financial revolution. On screen, newspaper clippings flash by the Times of London's headline, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks, which Satoshi embedded into Bitcoin's very first block. A hidden critique and a time capsule in code. With somber music and glitchy transitions, we dive into the text of the white paper itself, highlighting key terms like trustless, decentralized, and double spending. As forum posts and early responses from curious developers roll across the screen, we realize this wasn't just another internet idea, it was the birth of something bigger. In this moment, Bitcoin was born not in a boardroom, but in an inbox. On January 3, 2009, Bitcoin came to life. The Genesis block, the very first Bitcoin block, was mined by Satoshi Nakamoto himself. In it, he inscribed that famous message from the Times, linking Bitcoin's birth to the broken state of traditional finance. As viewers see vintage screenshots of the first Bitcoin client software and command line interfaces, we explain that this block marked the start of a financial system that anyone could join, verify, and help maintain. The early days were quiet, no fanfare, no venture capital, no marketing team. Satoshi mined new blocks, refined the code, and posted regularly on forums like Bitcoin Talk, engaging with early contributors such as Hal Finney, who received the first Bitcoin transaction. A timeline animation shows the emergence of these foundational moments, while a visual of Satoshi's original code commits fades in organized, meticulous, and clearly written. The music remains minimal, allowing the raw gravity of what was being created to sink in. Bitcoin was live. It worked. And Satoshi, still faceless, was at its core. Satoshi Nakamoto never gave an interview, never recorded a video, and never revealed his or their voice. All we have are emails and forum posts, yet within them lies a surprisingly consistent personality. Satoshi wrote in a formal, thoughtful tone, rarely emotional, often humble, and always focused on solving technical problems. As viewers read selected quotes on screen, patterns begin to emerge. British spellings like favor and color, clean grammar, and an avoidance of personal anecdotes. Some saw hints of academic training. Others believed he intentionally wrote to confuse investigators. A globe graphic visualizes his activity hours, suggesting he may have been active during UK working hours, or just masking his true location. Linguists later analyzed his writing and even compared it to known figures in cryptography, but none provided conclusive evidence. Through forum animations and text overlays, we watch a persona unfold, professional, pragmatic, and unwaveringly committed to the goal. Whoever Satoshi was, he knew how to stay invisible and stay on message. Though Satoshi built the foundations of Bitcoin, he wasn't entirely alone. Developers like Hal Finney, Gavin Andreessen, and Mike Hearn soon joined in, helping to debug, test, and refine the protocol. As their names appear on screen alongside their contributions, we explore their email exchanges with Satoshi, revealing a respectful, efficient style of collaboration. Hal Finney, already famous for his work on cryptographic privacy, received 10 bitcoins from Satoshi in the first ever Bitcoin transaction. Visual recreations of these early wallet addresses and transaction logs highlight how groundbreaking it all was. Gavin Andresen would later be trusted as the lead developer, a responsibility that would weigh heavily in years to come. But even among close collaborators, Satoshi remained a mystery. None of them ever saw him, heard him, or spoke with him in real time. As their voices enter the historical record, Satoshi's remained in the background, present in code, but absent in flesh. Bitcoin wasn't just code, it was a philosophy. Satoshi's white paper and forum posts hinted at a deep distrust of centralized financial systems. In visual montages, we contrast scenes of bank bailouts, inflation, and surveillance with excerpts from Satoshi's writings. The root problem with conventional currency is all the trust that S required to make it work. Bitcoin offered a radically different model: decentralized, deflationary, open source, and borderless. No central banks. No political manipulation. Just math and consensus. The animation explains how proof of work, mining, and cryptographic signatures eliminated the need for trust. Over this, quotes from cypherpunk manifestos and libertarian thinkers flash across the screen, placing Bitcoin in a lineage of digital resistance. Whether Satoshi was a hardcore libertarian, a cypherpunk idealist, or simply a brilliant problem solver, we may never know. But his creation reflected a clear vision: financial sovereignty for anyone, anywhere. In late 2010, Satoshi Nakamoto began to fade. His forum posts became less frequent. His updates slowed. And by December, he handed over more control to developers like Gavin Andresen. Then, in early 2011, he sent a final email: "I've moved on to other things." With that, Satoshi vanished. Forever. As a black screen slowly fades in with this message typed out in real time, viewers feel the weight of this digital disappearance. No farewell video. No identity reveal. Just silence. The music becomes haunting. The Bitcoin project, now running independently, marched on without its creator. But Satoshi's final actions were telling. He transferred no bitcoins, offered no clues, and left no trace. His disappearing act became as legendary as his invention. On screen, charts show the steady rise of Bitcoin after his exit, as if to prove that decentralization worked. The system lived on even without its architect. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? For over a decade, the internet has speculated. Some believed he was Hal Finney, the brilliant coder who helped shape Bitcoin. Others pointed to Nick Szabo, creator of BitGold, a Bitcoin precursor. A suspect map appears on screen, linking names, locations, and skill sets, creating a web of overlapping evidence. Dorian Nakamoto, a retired Japanese-American engineer, became the center of a media frenzy in 2014 when Newsweek falsely identified him. A clip shows his frustrated denial. "I am not Satoshi Nakamoto." Then came Craig Wright, an Australian businessman who claimed to be Satoshi, but failed to prove it cryptographically. Many in the Bitcoin community still view his claim as a hoax. Even Elon Musk was dragged into speculation, though he denied involvement. Despite endless clues, no theory has been definitively proven. It's a mystery still open and still unsolved. While Satoshi Nakamoto may be gone, his digital footprint remains, most notably in the form of about 1 million bitcoins mined in the early days. Worth tens of billions of dollars, these coins have never moved. A heat map visual shows clusters of early blocks believed to be Satoshi's based on technical patterns. Wallet address 101's PP1 becomes legendary not because of spending, but because of silence. In a world of greed, scams, and hype, Satoshi's refusal to touch his fortune speaks volumes. Was it a security precaution, a moral statement, or proof that he's no longer alive? Whatever the reason, these untouched coins have become a kind of digital monument. They sit dormant, like a sleeping dragon hoard visible to all, claimed by none. After Satoshi's exit, Bitcoin exploded. We watch time-lapse animations of price charts, news articles, and social media milestones: pizza purchases, Silk Road, EMT, Gox, forks, and billion-dollar rallies. Bitcoin goes from geek experiment to global phenomenon. El Salvador makes it legal tender. Celebrities and corporations jump in. The crypto space expands: Ethereum, smart contracts, and ETFs, all growing from the soil Satoshi planted. Visuals switch between massive mining farms, Bitcoin ATMs, and protest signs bearing the Bitcoin logo. The voiceover reminds us all of this began with one white paper sent by one pseudonymous figure. Whether or not the world was ready, Bitcoin had arrived, and it wasn't going away. Satoshi's creation didn't just change money, it changed how we think about power. Concepts like decentralization, digital scarcity, and trustless systems now influence art, finance, politics, and identity. Visuals showcase everything from DeFi platforms to Web3 startups to digital voting systems. At conferences and hackathons, developers cite Satoshi as an intellectual ancestor. Even central banks, once skeptical, are building digital currencies. Bitcoin inspired copycats and competitors, but none have matched its origin story. Satoshi proved that a single idea executed cleanly can shake the pillars of society. His absence gave rise to a movement defined not by hierarchy, but by code and consensus. Over time, Satoshi Nakamoto has become more than a name. He's a myth, a symbol, an idea. As statues, murals, and memes of Satoshi appear on screen, we reflect on how the creator has become a legend. People project their beliefs onto him: freedom fighter, genius coder, political dissident, even prophet. But the reality is simpler and stranger. We don't know who he was. We may never know. And maybe that's the point. In a world obsessed with identity and ego, Satoshi left only code. His disappearance forces us to focus on the message, not the messenger. And in doing so, he may have secured his invention's longevity far better than if he'd stuck around. As we approach the end of our journey, the legacy of Satoshi Nakamoto becomes clear. Bitcoin was never about getting rich, it was about freedom, about removing gatekeepers, about putting trust back in the hands of individuals. As footage of people using Bitcoin around the world plays: Venezuelan markets, Ukrainian donations, remittances in Africa, we see that this isn't just code. It's hope. The final voiceover slows, reverent and soft. Satoshi Nakamoto, born unknown, changed the world, and walked away. His coins remain untouched, his voice silent, but his impact eternal. The screen fades to black, and one line appears: we are all Satoshi.